Liquor Talk, another brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. This is the men's only round for the month of May. My dog Juggy, he is over here joining me. He going crazy because the WNBA season is starting up. Hey Juggy, how you feeling over there, dog?
Feel good, bro. Do it. Hashtag do it for the dream. The Atlanta Dream right now are up on the Washington Mystics, 45-41 at the halftime. I'm hyped. It's a WNBA season opener. They have over 140% increase in viewership, merch, tickets across the league. We got 3 new teams coming. I am highly excited. But more importantly, Vic, I am excited to be here with you. We finna break down all the major news stories. We're going to give the guys, the gals, what they need to get to the next show. Let's do it.
Yes, we got to. And also, I do want to send my condolences to your family because I understand your uncle passed away. I'm sorry to hear that because I know how it feels to lose an uncle, and I do appreciate you even coming on tonight because sometimes we can lose a family member, and that just wipes us out completely. Like, I remember how. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Vic. My uncle passed away. Really, it was last Friday or a week ago. Very close. My mom's brother taught me a lot of stuff, fishing, all types of things growing up. As an adult, I didn't get as much chance to spend time with it because once you start working, it's like you just be keyed in on working. But it reminds me of how important it is to sacrifice time to spend with family because once they're gone, Vic, they're gone. I just want to encourage everybody, take your health seriously. My uncle had kidney transplant surgery and passed away from a massive stroke. And, I'm going to miss him dearly. My family's going to miss him dearly. I appreciate all the thoughts and prayers and even to mention it in the show. It hurts, but, I have to keep doing it for him and for all the other people that, we've collectively lost. We have to keep going and making the world a better place for them.
Always, because what I was gonna say is I know how it feels to lose an uncle, and I lost 2 uncles. This was like almost 10 years ago, right before I was about to graduate from college. One uncle, I remember we had his funeral on my 25th birthday. That was always disappointing to have to go sit in a funeral on your birthday. That's like the biggest buzzkill ever. And then 2 months before I'm supposed to graduate, from FAMU, I lost another uncle. And that uncle, he was very important. He was the man of the family. He made it happen. Whatever they wanted, whatever they desired, he was. He worked at this. He worked at the plant in St. Pete. He made shit happen. He was running the family. The Grizz, his wife, the kids, the grandkids, they didn't have to worry about shit because he made it happen, man. So it's always heartbreaking. And that uncle was always happy to see me too. And
wow.
quite frankly, both uncles were because I had another uncle. He was the gangster of St. Pete. But he knew people in the family knew that the women in the family were always secured because he wasn't gonna play by them. I remember him saying one time he served some years in jail and he wouldn't mind going back. He was that kind of uncle. He would really fuck up somebody if they stepped wrong to the women in the family. And my mom ain't gonna like me for saying this, but had that uncle was not arrested, I don't think my mom would have married her first husband. I'm sorry, Mom. Hey, you and I both know that your first husband would not have made it if Uncle John was not in jail. Because Uncle John was that big uncle that he don't play. He was that uncle that he was gonna fuck some people up over the women in the family, and also he was learning about me as well. I learned from him to be that strong, big, strong protector, to not let nothing happen either. And he also taught me to stand up for myself too, as well. So, but I think about that too because I would definitely told my younger self, spend some more time with your uncles while you have them, because like you said, time goes and we can't be so caught up in everything we got going on to where we can't go spend some time with them, because I would definitely tell my younger self to go spend some time with them even when I'm coming home from college. So I definitely feel you.
And we've all lost somebody, Vic. And what I want to say to the people there may be people listening to the audience right now that's grieving. To let you know that, God can ease all pains. He's the only one. He's the only one that can ease the pain. And I would encourage them to talk to him in prayer. When's the last time you talked to God? Because there is no other way to really ease that pain. You could try to drown it in alcohol, drugs, other people. Only God can heal that pain. But, I'm sorry you lost your uncles, and, it just hits you randomly, the pain. But hey, we had to keep moving on. That's what friends are for, and I appreciate you, bro.
Hey man, anytime, man, anytime. That's what we're here for, man. Because we've been doing this thing, and hey, we're human in this thing. I know we're definitely human in this thing. So, but Juggy, this might be the most political episode we do of the men's round because we've been doing the men's
Yeah,
round for a while. But this
do
might
it.
be the most political. I know you love this over here, so I'm gonna get right into it. Shout out to all my young bulls at FAMU right now that they are protesting. They're going hard up there, man.
From the
I
highest
know
of seven hills.
they showed me something. Yes, shout out to all the FAMU students who are raising hell right now because they knew when we were at FAMU during my time. Oh, they knew not to try this shit. Rick Scott knew not to try shit with us because I remember marching right up to them doors, watching them to the governor's mansion to go have a little chat with him. And after that, he stopped fucking with us as much. But unfortunately, we got the news that FAMU has elected the board of trustees. Y'all need to go to hell for what y'all did because y'all put in a lady who's not even qualified. The students and alums are raising hell about this candidate because this candidate is backed by our governor and she's also a MAGA supporter. And now y'all want to put this lady in office. I don't care if she dark as hell. No, because I don't care because all skin folk ain't kin folk. And it's very disappointing that you want to fuck with an HBCU. And to all my other HBCUs out there, Bethune, Florida Edward Waters, and Florida Memorial,
Yep.
yeah, y'all better be paying attention to this because FAMU is the guinea pig for what they're trying to do. Because, Governor DeSantis is now enabled by Donald Trump to shut down this work. But I just don't get it. Like, what the fuck do they have against black history and black people? Like, make it make sense.
So I've been waiting on this. We talked about this. It's become big this week, which I'm also going to. Let me start there. So let's start with the full breakdown. This is for my dog, Vic, who is a proud alum of the school on top of the highest of seven hills in Tallahatchie. That's what we used to call it back in Jackson, Tallahatchie. Let's start with this, Vic. Why did we just start hearing about it the last 2 weeks? That's the biggest problem is we just started hearing about it right before the election was set to take place. That's the first major issue. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why for that is because it's black people, because this is a historically black university, we are reactionary. If we want to move forward into higher standing as an ethnic group of people in this country, we must become something that my pops taught me when I was a kid. It's called being proactive. Don't wait for things to happen to you. You happen to things. Don't wait for them to garnish your wages to pay your student loans back. Call them now and create a plan because you owe them that money. See, people like to shy away from responsibility, but I'm going to get too far off topic of that, so let's stick with it. So, what is the president, right? And when I say the president, I mean the president of FAMU, right? The context is this political. Governor Ron DeSantis has already done hostile takeovers of the University of West Florida and New College of Florida. He has usurped authority and privately, personally put in leadership at both of those schools. So this has been coming for a long while. Remember, Ron DeSantis is like Donald Trump Jr. What's going on in Florida is what's going to go around the country nationally. because Ron DeSantis and President Donald Trump, they cut from the same cloth, even though Donald Trump really doesn't give a flying rat's ass about Ron DeSantis. Because the president don't give a
He
crap
really
about
don't,
him,
because he.
he don't give a crap about him, but
Mm-hmm.
they birds of a feather politically. As the governor, Ron DeSantis has broad governing powers, which means that he can influence multiple aspects of the state's government system. What do you mean by that? That sounds like another language. So let me break it down for everybody. There are 17 individuals that sit on the board of governors for the state university system in the state of Florida. Guess what, Vic? 14 of those people are appointed by the governor. Let me say that again. The 17 people that run the state university system and appoint the chancellors for each of the state universities, 14 of the 17, which is by far the vast majority, are appointed by the governor. So guess what? Marva, what's her last name? Marva Johnson has already been
Yeah.
appointed several times under Rick Scott, the former governor of Florida, who was also a hard Republican, not as bad as Ron, but he was close. She's already been appointed to
Yes, he
boards
was.
under Rick Scott and previously under Ron DeSantis. Now, let me tell you how the Republicans think. They said, we don't like these N-words. So how are we going to do it? They don't just say they hate you. They take action. They use the law to their benefit. So they said, we'll take over their university and blank it out. Defund it. So 14 of the 17 people were appointed by DeSantis, which basically means they're DeSantis's proxies, because they can be removed by DeSantis at any time because they were not elected. They were appointed. But see, this isn't common knowledge to most of the people, I would presume, that even graduated from FAMU. You just hear about some on social media saying, oh, Marva Johnson, Ron DeSantis, we don't want her. Well, guess what? The power's already been given up. When Ron DeSantis got elected, he gets to appoint the board of governors. He gets to appoint the state judges. He gets to appoint the appellate judges in Florida. He gets wide-ranging power. And so for
Yeah,
all
I
the
get
people...
now. Hey.
Oh, go ahead.
I had to stop you right there. Now he may have that power, but it's still up to the board of trustees to put in the vote. However, I did notice he did appoint somebody to the board of trustees at the last minute. I'm like, why the hell? Of course, this was a power move. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit. And then my buddy who left Tallahassee to move to Alabama, I believe, he even mentioned that they were planning this years ago. That they've been planning this like years in advance for this little hostile takeover. So it's like, so now it's just making the news to us. So we got to figure out how can we start playing chess and being aware of these things.
So and I agree with what you're saying, Vic. But we must vote in every election. There's a small group of people that are representing all of us. And we need to understand civics. We need to understand how the state government works. Why? Because as you can see, this is affecting all the kids that are coming into FAMU. Now, Ron DeSantis has already deleted Black history and made it illegal in Florida. Ron DeSantis has already made it illegal to protest in Florida. Ron DeSantis went against the people of Florida who said we should make it legal for marijuana, right? He went back and told the legislature, blank that out, because he's anti-marijuana. So I say all that to say this. You don't like what just happened with FAMU? You know what the answer is? get on the calendar, know every election, you vote for city council, commissioners, townships, sheriff, county election seats, supervisor of election seats, and the governor too, representatives, senators. Why? Because what comes next, Vic? If they say it's illegal for black people to live in Florida, then what you gonna do?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
We are definitely screwed if
I,
they ever say.
they'll be screwed up. But it's like with the way that the police treat people and the fact that they have qualified immunity, I need people to pay attention to politics. You're not
Yeah,
voting
we're
in the
gonna have to pay
governorship.
attention to politics.
You're not voting for the governor. Guess what? Vic, did you want Margaret Johnson to become the next president of FAMU?
I First of all, I didn't know who this lady was, and so I did some research, and then I'm like, oh shit, they putting in somebody. This is definitely a mega candidate because her ass ain't even qualified, and also, and I'm going by the fact that the students at FAMU, current students and alums, are raising hell about this. If that should tell you right there, if there's smoke, there's a fire. That should tell you right there that hell no.
Yeah.
Cause this sounds like a yes woman for president for our governor Ron
It
DeSantis,
is.
because eventually he's gonna find a way to cut funding to FAMU, and then he trying to make that Florida State South. Nah, we gonna have to fight a little harder than that.
And, she's been openly MAGA, like you said, Vic. She's been openly supportive of Governor Ron DeSantis. She's a hardline right winger. She's a conglomerate executive at Charter Communications, which is the parent company of Spectrum, with all the BS that they do in our communities as far as the internet not working half the time. I just want people to remember that if you want things to get better, you have to do something different. And historically, black people have not voted in the majority for most local elections. I'm making a case, men and women, all ages. We are losing our liberties, we're losing our freedoms, and the state government is largely anti black. You want to get something different out
Yes,
of it?
we
You gotta vote.
Yes, and also we gotta show up and vote double, especially if you live in Florida. So I need people in Tampa, people in Orlando, people in Miami, people in St. Pete, and also Tallahassee and Jacksonville. Thank y'all for showing up. It's the rural areas of Florida where y'all gonna have to show up and do something, because I know there are black folks living in the rural areas of Florida.
If you take the
Because if you
liberal,
look at the maps, the if you like I said, if you look at the maps, it's always the rural areas of Florida that be fucking it up for everybody.
well, that's not true, man. See, there's a couple things going on with that. And I'll just explain quickly, and we can get back to the next topic. The voting
Mm-hmm.
districts have been gerrymandered. What that means is the voting districts have been cut in such a way that it takes away the power of black and brown votes around the state of Florida. So they're skewing all the rules in their favor. The other thing to remember is that if a majority of black people voted in coastal cities, which is where the vast majority of black people live in Florida, they live in Tampa, they live in Jacksonville, they live in Miami, they live in Fort Lauderdale, and they live in Orlando. I think around 90% of the people, 95% of the people black people live in those big cities. And I say that to say if 70 to 80% of the African American population voted in local elections, then what they do in the rural communities, they would never be enough because that's just what they are, rural. They don't have as big of a population. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And I'm not saying what you're talking about doesn't have validity. I'm speaking to our listeners like if it's not, the Book of Clarity at my show, if it's not Roland Martin, Political Pump, Politics by Tabitha, there's so many people trying to get you right and show you how important politics is. And ignoring it only makes the problems worse for all of us. So I had a feeling that she might get elected because, again, 14 of the people on the board of governors who select the president are DeSantis surrogates. You want to stop that? Then you gotta get out and vote. Every single black person should be voting for the governor, the state reps, every single election. Why? We're the ones who have the most to lose. Us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. We definitely got the most to lose. It is sad because in his governor term up what 26, right?
Say again.
I said for Governor DeSantis, I said we got to vote again in 26 for governor, right?
Yeah.
Or is it later this year?
He's turned out. Governor DeSantis will be turned out. This is the second term, so he's done. Now, that brings out another point. Who's going to force him not to come back for a third term? Because Donald Trump talking about a third term too.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
But I will say this. Yeah.
We're giving them the power to do this.
We're giving them. God
We're
damn.
giving them the power to do
I'm
this.
like, you know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is bad that we're giving them the power to do this because it's like, well, we need to figure out who we need to get behind because, my goodness, because 2026 is going to be here before we know it, and then 2028 is going to be here before you know it, you know, because we can't do no more Donald Trump because this man is way more aggressive than he was back in 2017.
Yeah, because you know, there's Republicans that control the executive branch of Florida. Republicans control the legislative branches of Florida. Republicans control the judges in Florida. The Republicans control the police chiefs in Florida. You know, those are elected positions, Vic. Those are elected positions. No excuses.
Yes, they are. Yes, no excuses. So, bottom line, y'all gotta do y'all civic duties. Y'all gonna have to get out here and vote, and that's just bottom line. That's how we can affect change. And you know what? We're gonna have to hope that FAMU they keep rallying behind. They keep doing their protests, doing what y'all need to do to make sure this lady don't even take office. Because I don't know if that's possible to, or she might be elected, but she decided not to take office. So, or they might treat her like they did on President Mangle, Elmira Mangle, because I don't think she even lasted. The last lady president FAMU, I don't even think she lasted. She maybe lasted 2 years, I believe. I can't remember, but bruh, it's disappointing. But
it's disappointing. But let it be a lesson to us that we got to be on top of everything. And again, being proactive instead of reactive is really the point of this. We have to be proactive, but also, you know, looking at it from the perspective that I'm at, where was the Democratic Party on this issue? How come we didn't hear from Florida Democrats?
Hello.
I know Andrew Gillum, the former mayor of Tallahassee, I know he spoke out about this, who ran for governor against DeSantis. I know he spoke out against Margaret Johnson, but where is the larger opposition to having her there? Why wasn't there a coalition of Democratic political operatives in Tallahassee to help the students with their voice? So there's problems on all sides. And again, we don't have to get into all those details right now, Big, but suffice it to say, if you continue to refuse to get involved in the political system, it will get worse. Guaranteed.
Yes, it will. And also, if y'all want some more political advice, go ahead and tune into my dog channel over there, Book of Clarity. Go ahead and tap in with him because he's going to be breaking out all this stuff as well. And I'll be right there with y'all to get all the knowledge and stuff. But on a lighter note, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Shout out to everybody that's tuning on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. To all my rattlers out there, hang in there because this fellow rattler hanging in there. Just hang in there. Better days are coming. Shout out to everybody on Podmatch as well. Shout out to the Podmatch Network. Shout out to the MBG Podcast Network as well. Place where you can find Liquor Talk. All right, Juggy, you got the gear on, so we'll talk about it. The WNBA season is tipping off, and also this weekend you got your dream is probably winning right now, but I remember for a fact it's gonna be I know Indiana and Chicago playing on Saturday. And also, I believe we got a finals rematch on Saturday as well as the Aces taking on the Liberty.
That's
Man,
correct.
WNBA is lit, but go ahead.
Right now, my Atlanta Dream are down by 1 point to the Washington Mystics. That game is in the third quarter. Number one overall pick, Paige Beckers, is battling it out with her teammates, Dejanay Harrington and Arike Agumbawale against Nafisa Collier in the Lynx. The Lynx are up 2 points, 50-48 in the third quarter. Later on tonight, the Los Angeles Sparks take on the brand new franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, owned by the same ownership group that owns the Golden State Warriors on the NBA side. Their first ever game in existence of the WNBA. That's tonight, 10 o'clock on the WNBA League Pass. By the way, I think it's like $36. So there's no excuse for people out there say, I ain't got no money. You spend more than that on drinks. When you go to the club at Soho, don't try to play me. Tomorrow, as Vic mentioned, the Aces, Asia Wilson, get you some A1s, takes on the New York Liberty, Sabrina Ionescu, and the big one, Caitlin Clark, last year's number one overall draft pick with the Indiana Fever, take on Camila Cardoso and the Chicago Sky. Also, I heard the Chicago Sky have somebody called Angel Reese on their team as well. They'll be playing tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I absolutely cannot wait. Of course, right now I'm concerned about my dream beating the Washington Mystics with all the rookies they got on their team. Hopefully, they're able to pull this out. But hey, this is the WNBA. A lot of players that got drafted did not make it, like Cheyenne Sellers, Deja Kelly, who hit a game winner in preseason for the Aces, actually. She hit a game-winning shot, had 15 points in like 20 minutes, and she got cut. So WNBA is hyper competitive. I know you mentioned before having roster expansion, like going from 12 to 15 players max on a roster. Of course, there's new teams coming down the pipeline, like I just mentioned. I think it's Toronto Tempo. Just to reiterate, we brought this up last time. Serena Williams is one of the owners of the Toronto Tempo. Now, that's what I call petty.
Yeah, that is petty. That is definitely petty. I had to jump in on that one, but yeah, that is definitely petty. Also, we got the Toronto Tempo. I heard the Cleveland Rockers, an original WNBA franchise, is coming back, and I know Portland's getting a WNBA team. And at some point, I heard the Houston Rockets owner is talking about bringing back the Houston Comets. My whole thing with the WNBA is they need some more goddamn teams, and they need a developmental team. And I hear the Connecticut Sun might be up for sale. Hey, somebody in Florida, buy the damn Connecticut Sun so we can get the Orlando Miracle or the Miami Soul. Because Miami had a team briefly, but then it folded.
Y'all know it's my dream to bring a WNBA team to Florida. Then I would have to make a decision. Y'all see who I'm rocking. If the Florida gets a team, I got a problem, Vic, because I'm a very loyal person. Y'all know how I am as a Jaguars fan. I've been down with my team. I'm down with the dream. I'm down with the Bulls. Like, I'm a very loyal fan, even when things are not going well. So, of course, I would love if we get a team because I'll be at them games. Vic, I'll take you with me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get them courtside seats. We're going to be balling out. We're going to get you some merch. Get you a favorite player. Maybe get you a signed jersey or something, man. We're going to get you into it, my guy. But yeah, WNBA season started tonight. WNBA season started tonight, 29th season. You know, viewership is up, merch is up, tickets are up, ticket sales are up. Player salaries are going up, not high enough. I'll make a point of that, but they got to get in the black. They got to be profitable. I think that is coming with the expansion. That's one of the reasons for the expansion. I am so excited for women's basketball at the highest level. I believe the WNBA is the most competitive women's league in the entire world. And I'm just excited for another season, bro. I appreciate you. You let me
Yeah.
do politics. You let me do the W, man. This has been a big episode for your boy, JB Jugs, Booker Clarity. Holla at me.
Yeah, yes, it has been. Yes, it has been. But I hate to burst your bubble here, but I heard something about the WNBA CBA expiring in 2026. So I'm like, I know the WNBA is booming right now, but I need them to go ahead and come to the table and go ahead and make this shit happen because we ain't trying to see no lockout. Because what the hell is to do over
So,
there this summer if there's a WNBA lockout?
so current WNBA Players Association president Nneka Ogwumike has come out and said that player expansion is on the roster. They do want a bigger share of the revenue that the league generates. I know everybody's favorite thing to say is it's not profitable. Newsflash, newsflash, the United States of America that a lot of y'all are so patriotic about is over $50 trillion in debt. Okay? So
Hello.
y'all can start with the profitable bullshit. All of us have got consumer debt, our student loans. Most people have debt of some kind. That's the way this country works, is on credit. So I don't want to hear that BS about being
Mm-hmm.
profitable. That's not going to fly over here. Newsflash, the NBA, when it was in its early seasons, was not profitable. Was not profitable. But you never hear anybody talking about that. They don't
Yeah,
like to talk
because
about
the
that.
NBA is profitable now, and also the NBA had a rivalry that helped save the league. The Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rivalry saved the league back in the '80s because everybody started watching, and then that's when shit started booming, and then that's when profits came in. So the WNBA is going. They got some work to do, but I believe they'll get it done because the way they're moving, I definitely believe they're going to get done. But there need to be some more teams, man, so that way these young players get opportunities and stuff, so where they're not having to go overseas. And we have cases like Brittany Griner, because I can't see another person having to go to Russia to play professional basketball. No, America, we need more teams. Damn it, nobody should have to go to Russia. They'll be subjugated to their bullshit.
Hey, Vic, guess what? You
Yeah,
want
what's
more
up?
teams? Guess what? You about to get more teams, baby. The WNBA is expanding. So for all the haters out there, it's on the up. And Vic, I must say, I was on the WNBA tip, no pun intended, before it became popular, way back in 2012. All the way back. Before it still doesn't have enough respect. All the things I used to hear. You see, you got to ask yourself who really loves the game of basketball. Because most WNBA players,
Mm.
they play in the WNBA, they will go overseas to play basketball and don't get a break and then come in for the next WNBA season and get paid a literal fraction of what the NBA players get paid. So you want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
dedication, you want to talk about loving the game, you want to talk about technique, you want to talk about heart, you want to talk about passion, excitement. It's in the WNBA. They need to pay me for advertising WNBA. I wear my shirt, I wear my hat. I don't care who hears it. The WNBA is the next best thing in American sports. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah. Listen, hey, you definitely do. They need to give us some tickets or something. Shit, book us a flight, fly us out to a game. Shit, somewhere, you know. Hey, fly me out to LA. I'll go see the LA Sparks, or fly me to Chicago. Hey, fly me whenever. Oh, Mr. No's about to come in, but fly me wherever, damn it, and also give me some. I'll rock the gear too. Shit, you know. Y'all help me choose the team in the comments, because I mean it's gonna be either LA or Golden State or maybe Chi-Town. I I need a warm weather city though, but you know it sucks that we don't have too many warm weather
I
options
think we got
outside of Atlanta and Las Vegas and Dallas.
in Dallas. Um, maybe Golden State, maybe. Um, it's not a lot of warm weather teams. Hopefully Houston and Florida's coming down the pipeline with the expansion. So we're going to get there. We're going to get there, big.
Or for we will, or for shits and giggles, if y'all really fuck with me, find me a Bay on the WNBA team. I'd definitely be a fan of whatever Bay team on. And those finest about to come in a second. I'm just being real with you. Yeah, hey, find me a Bay on the WNBA team. I support that team. What up, N.O.? What's up, dog?
What's going with you, baby? What's going on with you both?
Hey man, you missed the politics conversation. We talk about the WNBA now. Juggy is he's lit right now because we're talking about the WNBA. He talked a little about the Atlanta Dream, and I told him we need expansion and stuff. So now that you're in here, what are your thoughts on the WNBA?
My take on the WNBA is they're in the right direction. You know, they're peaking at just the right time, you hear me? And I'm looking forward to like the future. At this present moment in time, we still got the stars like the Vesta Collier, you hear me? Aja Wilson, Erica Ungali. You still gotta remember Brittany Griner, 6'8", 6'9", full of like feminine manliness. The W is gonna be bright, bro. And I see down the road.
He started with your dog.
Oh my
Listen.
Well, I knew you were going to
He going straight.
Listen, you hear me? There will be no Dallas Wing slander. Paige Buckers, JJ Quinterly, you know, the dynamic duo. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna be the future Rebecca Lobo, Cynthia Cooper. They ain't even play on the same team, but I'm calling it. It's gonna be blasphemy with Dallas. We're going for top 5 in the W, you hear me? I'm calling it.
Look, right now is the dream time to shine. Paige Beckers ain't really seen the strength of the women in the WNBA. She is extremely talented. Her, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camilla Cardoso, Isaiah James, you know what I'm saying, Georgia Amore, Tahina Powell. They are the future of the WNBA. But they ain't getting past the dream. They ain't getting past Asia Wilson. They ain't getting past Nneka Ogwumike. They ain't getting past Rickea Jackson and De'Ara Canby and Cameron Brink. They ain't getting past them, you know. I'm telling you right now. And let me tell you something. Alyssa Thomas, she got them Ron Artest Metal World Peace elbows. She got a couple 2 or 3 pieces. She got them Carmelo Anthony elbows. And she can't wait. She can't wait to knock some sense into these rookies.
Oh, yeah.
That's brutal.
Palace, baby. It's gonna be a Malice at the
He
Palace,
said
W style.
it's gonna be a Mouse at the Palace W style, and Detroit ain't even got a damn team, man. That's a damn shame. They took the stock and they moved them to Tulsa, but then they folded once they got to Tulsa. So that's a damn shame. So, and you know what I told him was, hey, if I found a bet on the WNBA team and she flew me out, that's gonna be my WNBA team.
We're gonna put you on the aces.
Hey, fuck it, I'll take it. This is the. Hey, they the only team in Vegas that know how to win because the Raiders suck. The Golden Knights got knocked out in the playoffs. So, hey, the Aces are the one team they doing right.
Hey, you know my WNBA base over there, so treat her right, bro. I mean, do better than Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We gotta do better than Bam because the Miami Heat they need some help, man. Seriously, they definitely need some help. But but like I was telling Jug, though, we might have to do a road trip to go to a WNBA game somewhere, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's in Vegas, or whether it's in Indiana or New York, wherever. We're gonna have to go somewhere. Hey, WNBA, if you motherfuckers are listening to this, sell some cigs or something. Goddamn, we just spent 10 minutes talking about the damn WNBA.
We trying to get flew out too.
Hell yeah, we try to get flew out. And we're not hating like first takeover hating.
I mean, Shanae Women should have left me on the ESPN. You know what I'm saying? I got to find a new WNBA base, so it's going to have to be Lexi Brown and Aja Wilson. So, top 5. Dallas Wings, top 5 in the W. I see the bright future there. You know, I expect sophomore slumps coming from Caitlin Clark, but I think she's going to do her thing. Her and Aaliyah Boston. I think they started to gel like midway through the season. I noticed that they fired their head coach. Her name was Christy Size in the first year. So it looks like they're trying to find a a coach that compliments Caitlin Clark and not, I guess, hold her accountable or something. But it seemed to me, from what I've noticed, Christy Sides last season, Indiana was winning in spite of her. I could be wrong, but based on what I observed, like last season, that's kind of like why they went to a whole new coach, just like kind of like with Chicago with the Chicago Sky when Teresa Witherspoon. I felt like that's a true OG.
Yep.
Her New York Liberty back in the day. Her Rebecca Lobo.
Yep.
And she got fired after the first season, but you could tell Angel Reese was more focused about being a model than being a professional basketball player.
For real. And also Indiana, if they do it right, they could give you early 90s Orlando Magic, because the early 90s Orlando Magic, they had 2 first-round picks, they had 2 lottery picks, and guess how that turned out? Now, they fumbled the bag with Shaq, but,
They're small market
so
teams.
we just got to...
As the bigger market teams, so that did play a part in it. But knowing the generational player that they knew Shaq was at that time, they should have moved mountains to keep dude.
Yeah, they should. And also, the WNBA, from outside looking at it, seems like it's an even playing field. There's no big market team with a whole bunch of money to just throw at everybody. So it seems like it might be an even playing field. I could be wrong on that, but it seems like it's a little more even than the WNBA. I'm surprised Los Angeles still in there. I'm like, Los Angeles, y'all are in the second biggest city. Why aren't y'all making more? I thought you were going to say New York and Los Angeles, but hey.
There's a lot of, there's more.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but oh yeah, God save him. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, she can definitely ball. Yeah. Yeah, she is a player of ours. But real quick, shout out to your Atlanta Dream, because I did remember something you mentioned about the previous owner. I remember, like, during the pandemic, the Atlanta Dream were wearing shirts that said "Vote Warnock," which was her opponent. I'm like, that shout out to the Atlanta Dream for making a message and sending her out and getting that racist motherfucker up out of there. Shout out to the Atlanta Dream for that, because that they earn my respect. Even though they dropped the ball in the 2010s because they should have won a championship back then, but they earned my respect when they were getting political and they said vote Warnock and they got the racist motherfucker up out of there. Y'all should have won a championship with Andrew McCarthy though. Mm-hmm. That is true. You got to. Yeah. Hell yeah. That motherfucker look like the damn devil and shit. Kentucky, if you're listening to this podcast, get that motherfucker out of office. God damn. Rotisserie chicken from Walmart. He couldn't even get Sam's Club. He got Walmart. God damn. He paused. I, he's in his 80s. Shit, he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one that. Yeah, we gotta get these old motherfuckers out of here. But fellas, ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Hope y'all enjoying this month's men's round conversation. All right, fellas, I got a serious question for y'all. What is the difference between breaking a man down and holding a black man accountable? Because sometimes I hear it all the time. If one of us like were to get corrected or somebody else get corrected, they're like, "Oh, you're just breaking a black man down." Well, what's the difference between breaking a black man down and holding that man accountable? I'll let you guys go because I got my thoughts on this. So I'll let you guys jump in. One of y'all go, damn it. Mm-hmm. That's valid. That's valid. Juggy, what you gonna say? Yes, that's real. Yes, please don't do it. Quit letting social media affect your thoughts. My thoughts, real quick, about everything is like sometimes it could be your tone and how you come across. It's like because sometimes black men they'll hear a strong tone, they'll be like, "Oh, this person's tearing me down," but number one is the tone. Number two, you gotta look at who is it coming from. Is it coming from somebody that's in position of where you're trying to get to, or is it someone that's below you or beneath you, or lastly, or is it an OG trying to get on you, trying to keep you from the same mistakes that you made? So it's all up to you about how you value it, because sometimes it could come from that also. Then lastly, it also comes from a person that's maybe just miserable with their own life and they take solace in tearing somebody down. Those people you gotta ignore them because those people they live for misery. Misery loves company, right? So you can't take it from somebody who's just miserable. So I would definitely say to all my black men out there, listen, if somebody's tearing you down, it is a reason. Take it all with a grain of salt, but know who it's coming from. Because if it's coming from somebody that cares about you and wants the best for you and that wants to see you win, you're going to tear it. For example, if Godfrey Junkie even came at me like, hey, you got to do better here, hey, I'll take it. I'll be like, okay, I will. You know what I'm saying? And I'll humble myself, because it's all low because I know these guys are rolling with me. So you got to take it like that. Now, if it's somebody from the outside that don't know shit about you, that they just miserable with their own life, you just gotta ignore it. And also, even the noise you get on social media from random motherfuckers that you don't even know, you gotta ignore that shit because guess what? If you give into it, You're gonna give it to their. You're gonna do exactly what they want you to do, which is give it to their bullshit. So I would say definitely the difference between tearing somebody down and holding them accountable is all in the tone and also who is it coming from. Because sometimes some people they might be in a fucked up place, but a broken clock is right at least twice a day. So you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you just said and hold him accountable and stuff. And also, I will also add in that yeah, you gotta move in more better. And also, they also knew the time of this. They also knew that Shannon Sharp is also negotiating to get a better deal with also the networks he owns because he owns the podcast stuff. But I heard he was in contracts as well to negotiate getting a better deal for Nightcap and all the other podcasts he was on. So of course this time it comes out. So that being said, you gotta cover your tracks a little bit because of course they always want to humble us black men. It's like that song says it's cool when they do it, but when I do it, it's a problem. So you gotta move like that as a brother. And also, you also look kind of hypocritical ish because I heard something where he told his daughter no because his daughter was asking for a lavish wedding. He told his daughter no, but she got money for this OnlyFans shit. Come on, man. You already know we're gonna hold you accountable for that. And also, you gotta do better because you gotta know as a leader. Like, well, look at like what I'm doing. I'm like, shit, I'm not about to do something that's gonna get me caught up because that's gonna drag everybody associated with me down. No, sir. $100 million for Nightcap and all the other podcasts. Oh damn, bro, you is not Hugh Hefner. Pat warned him. Hell no. Yeah, yeah, Shannon, please get it fixed. Mm-mm. Go ahead, Godfrey. You got it. You got it. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Oh, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we gotta continue to get the battle and ignore temptation. Yes, you said it best. And quick WNBA update because Juggy Fresh had us a little scoreboard going on, and I took a glance at it. Bro, you're gonna get mad when I say this, but your dream are losing, and also Minnesota is beating the brakes off of Dallas. I'm like, God damn, Minnesota beating Dallas like they stole something. Use your damn teammates. Exactly, because the NBA, they know how to use their teammates. Even Kobe knew how to use his teammates. Even Michael Jordan knew how to use his teammates. Find his wide open teammates. Use your damn teammates, WNBA players. Lastly, fellas, there's two things. Lastly, 100 men versus a gorilla. Who wins? I think I know what y'all gonna say, but hey, I already know what I'm gonna say. My answer has changed throughout the week, but this is the stupidest argument. But fuck it, since they all having it and it's trending, why not? 100 men versus a gorilla. Who wins? Well, He's right though. Damn, I thought DC threw it in. I think DC done threw it in because Marvel's just kicking their ass. I mean, DC. It feels like DC done threw it in, but you know, 100 men are gonna win. You know what, Jug? What you think? For shits and giggles. Damn. Shit. Damn. Two fingers. Damn. You know. Yeah, it's no competition. Well, listen, the only the, damn, damn, that's crazy. Now that they don't clip them nails. So the only hope humanity has, the 100 men have, is if 50 of the motherfuckers had straps. That's the only hope. If some of the motherfuckers had straps, that's the only hope. That's the only way I would see the damn gorilla winning. Because your average human, hell, I even throw in the athletes, or the boxers that have registered, their hands are registered weapons. I mean, we gotta have somebody with some straps, something, because that gorilla will be so damn powerful. Damn, we didn't even talk about day parties. We didn't even talk about that damn trial because that did cross my mind. But that conversation, I'm probably gonna have it with a kink expert in like 2 weeks. But since you done brought it up, shit. I mean, did anybody sign non-disclosure agreements, or did them non-disclosure agreements expire? Because I'm like, what the fuck with that damn Diddy trial? It feels like they are taking that time to travel. And also, I wonder why they take that time. Is it because it's so much shit that they gotta uncover, or is there another strategic purpose of why it's taking so long? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Speaking of Jay Z, I know he said he got dirt on everybody, but I heard Jay Z next. But Jay's way Jay Z moving, it's like even though he kind of putting out attacks on people, but I'm hearing Jay Z next. Ooh, once she in her teens, what 30? He was like 28 or 29. You said 3 out of 4 because it's because I remember R. Kelly going down for that, but of course, yeah, and you know what? And I feel like Jay Z wanted Aaliyah more, but then he got kind of mad that Jay Z had was mad that Aaliyah was kind of fucking with Dame more than Jay Z. So I really think Jay Z kind of put that hit on Aaliyah. Yeah, is so Jay Z is gonna have hell to pay, because it's like, god damn, bro. And also, and I know he kind of sent out one shots because it's like, look at what happened with Tory, DDG, and Chris Brown. Like, they all kind of spoke up against Jay Z, and now look what's happening to them. And then another, go ahead. They're not. Yeah, I got. Yeah, I'll give y'all another example. Look at Kanye West because when Kanye first came out, he was cool, chill. But look at what he's done now. Like, yeah, I listened to that Donda 2 album. I'm like, he's just desperate for attention whenever he'll say random shit. I'm like, bruh, he'll say some shit that you should just took to the grave. But yeah, because and I listened to Donda 2. It's like, it's okay. It ain't nothing to be like, hey, I'm gonna say some dumb shit on social media. I'm like, damn, Kanye. Of all the shit you put out in the past, Donda 2 was just okay to me. They're not. pretty much. And yeah, and also to add on to Godfrey's point, also that's why a lot of them artists and stuff, they be on drugs, they be coked up, they be drunk up, they be the biggest acts to take their mind off of the shit they did to get famous. So I would never condone that. And also the Kardashians, it's like they're only famous because they daddy was a damn lawyer for a lawyer and a close adversary for OJ Simpson. That's how they got famous. And then, of course, the daughters pimped them out. So, but yeah, listen, that is crazy. So, the industry is just wicked. That's another conversation we'll continue to have. Next month, we might have the conversation of 100 women versus accountability. So, that's the conversation we'll have coming down the line. But, fellas, I appreciate y'all for coming on the men's round for this month. Yeah, I left you with a cliffhanger. I know, because y'all just told me y'all had to go. So, yeah, I left y'all with a cliffhanger because y'all just told me y'all had to go. So, I had to leave y'all with a little cliffhanger. So, next month, for those of you still listening and everybody that made this point, we're going to be a decade to our fathers next month because Father's Day takes place in June. So, we're going to dedicate next month's men's rounds to the dads. So, real quick, fellas, tell us where they can find you. Starting with you, Juggy. That's real. You definitely got all the support. Mr. New Orleans Finds, where can they find you? Hell yeah, we all want to eat. You gotta keep doing your thing. We all gotta spend time with family. As you all know, you can find Liquor Talk. Excuse me, you can find Liquor Talk everywhere on Liquor Talk Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and also Podmatch. You can find us there as well. Find the podcast everywhere. Thank you, fellas, for joining me for another edition of the Men's Round. If you are listening to this podcast and you want to get on the Man Talk, y'all just slide in your boy DMs because I might be in Florida, but I'm just a DM away. So if y'all fellas want to smoke and get in with the fellas, y'all let us know. Until next episode, shout out to everybody that's tuned in to Liquor Talk, whether you tuned in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. Go ahead, shoot a like, tell us what you think. And if you want to be a guest, fill out the form on Podmatch or fill out the form in the bio. Let us know. Keep pouring it up, ladies and gentlemen, because your process is temporary. Keep pouring it up and keep pushing forward. Until the next episode, peace. We out this thing. This has been the Liquor Talk Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.